Let's talk to Dr. Omar Abdel-Mannan, co-founder of Gaza Medic Voices, an organization posting messages on social media from Gaza clinicians. Omar, welcome. Good to see you. And I know you're in pretty constant communication with doctors in Gaza. What are they saying to you about what's been going on in Al-Shifa Hospital right now?
Thank you for having me on the program. So, as you said, we've been communicating with the doctors and surgeons since October 10 on a daily basis. What I can say is that we have had zero communication since yesterday evening at Al-Shifa Hospital, which is extremely worrying. The only thing that gave me some relief was hearing one of the doctors, Dr. Ahmed Al-Mukhallati, speak to BBC News this morning from Al-Shifa. So that told me that not everyone is dead, which was what I feared, hearing that the Israelis had gone in, the Israeli Defense Forces had gone into the hospital and were using, were attacking it sort of en masse. What we are seeing is a hospital that is no longer functioning as a hospital. It is a war zone. There are mass graves. They had to dig up mass graves to bury 200 dead in the courtyard yesterday. There are premature babies that are no longer able to survive inside the incubators because the incubators are no longer working. So they're putting them together in cots, all 39 of them. We've heard reports of 6 of them having died already, and many more are likely to die without sufficient aid, electricity, and basic supplies. So Al-Shifa Hospital is very grim, but what I want to stress, and this is the concern I have, that Al-Shifa Hospital is reflective of just one element of the absolute horror and apocalyptic scenes that are happening across Gaza. Gaza and hospitals are a snapshot into what is an open-air concentration camp. There are 2 million people, half of which have been displaced from the north to the south, and these people have undergone bombing and shelling, not only on their homes, but their bakeries, their healthcare facilities, their water sanitation plants. The Israeli government and defense force are frankly suffocating and starving these people slowly but surely. And as of yet, I have not seen any of the Western leaders take sufficient action to be able to call for an immediate ceasefire. Our own government in the UK is currently in House of Parliament discussing this issue and voting for a ceasefire. And I urge them, as a British citizen, I urge them to have the courage and the bravery to stand up for what is right and to allow history to judge them in the right way. What kind of society and what kind of morals do we want to teach our children when we allow premature babies to be dying on neonatal units without sufficient water, without sufficient medical supplies? What kind of society are we leaving behind for our children and our grandchildren? And that is my message to Western leaders.
Omar, you make your point very strongly and well. What do you say to Israel, who you will have heard say that this hospital is hosting a Hamas command center?
So there's 2 elements to this. I have visited every one of these hospitals, including Al-Shifa, on my annual trips to Gaza for the last 10 years. My colleagues and I have been through every cranny of that hospital, operating theatres, outpatient clinics. We have worked there. We have never seen anything that amounts to military activity or Hamas-led activity of any sort. Now, for sure, I can't guarantee that there aren't operatives or Hamas militants, but the Israeli government has yet to release any videos to demonstrate that. They've said that they've gone in, they've shown videos of them storming. I haven't seen a single Kishalnikov or arm from Hamas militants killed or captured. Now, I understand, and this is my message to the Israeli citizens, not the government, because the government is doing what is abhorrent and what amounts to war crimes in any textbook. My message to Israeli citizens, and especially those on the left wing who understand and appreciate that human life is sacred, and for them, this war in Gaza is absolutely abhorrent. But what they are fearing is that Hamas will resurface or will come back and attack them, and this is an existentialist threat for them. I appreciate and acknowledge that I have Israeli friends, I have friends who have hostages held inside Gaza, and my thoughts and prayers are with them. But that does not allow a whole government to collectively punish a whole population of 2 million people. These people are being starved to death. These people are humans. They are as equal in terms of their rights as we are. I could have been born in Gaza. I'm lucky to have been born in or grew up in the West. But these are women and children and doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals, especially, who are being targeted, and this has to stop. We are holding a vigil this Friday. We had one last week at 10 Downing Street as a collective healthcare worker community to represent and commemorate the 200 that have been killed. We are doing that across the UK, across at least 12 to 15 UK cities. That is being mobilized as I speak. I have teams who are planning this. And next week, we'll be holding a global vigil. We will be including all major European cities, all North American cities. We will not stop. We will keep shouting, and we will keep saying to our governments, please, we urge you for a ceasefire. I've spoken to the doctors at Al Shifa and other hospitals. The one message they had was, we don't want your food. We don't want your water. We don't even want your thoughts and prayers. We just want a ceasefire now.
Omar, we have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for coming on the programme. Dr. Omar Abdel-Mannan, co-founder of Gaza Medic Voices.